Hello, friends. It's Mary, the insurance sales queen. And in this session, we're going to go through sales calls, cold calls, basically just talking to our customers. When I was at corporate, they sent sales managers to sit next to me to find out what it was I was saying. So I'm super happy to be able to share this with you. I am teaching out of the playbook. The playbook is something that I created the first year I was in the industry just to help keep me straight, just so that I had a place to go, what page to flip to, um, if I needed information quickly. Now I use OneNote. So I certainly promote OneNote for your own notes. But if you need something fast, easy, you got to grab it, you need the information now, the playbook is available on the website. I'm going to start with a call flow example. So what does it look like when you're answering the phone with policyholders? And I'm going to use an inbound call. It's a great way to start. We're going to talk about outbound here in a little bit. So when I answer the phone, I say something like, "Thank you for calling ABC Insurance Company. How can I help you today?" I'm putting a smile on my face first because I truly believe customers, clients, future policyholders can actually hear that. Is this your first time calling, or have we quoted you in the past? The reason I want to know that is if it is their first time calling, how did they find me? That's going to be my very next question. How did you find us? The reason for that is because I want to do much, much more of that. If they're a returning customer, then I thank them for thinking of us again. So thanks for giving us another shot. I'm going to grab their name, address, phone number. I want to collect that information just in the case we're disconnected. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'm going to give you a call back. So again, I always thank my future policyholder for contacting me. Betty, thank you so much for thinking of us. I'm going to be fast, friendly, and efficient as I go through the call today. If you have any questions, please don't be shy. Next, I'm going to ask for things that need to go into their profile. Date of birth is a great example. Driver's license, if they have it on them. Some companies do not allow you to even run a quote without a driver's license number. So keep that in mind. Every agent's office, every company is just a little bit different. Next, I'm going to say, now I'd like to ask some eligibility questions, and then we're going to talk about driving history. So just like a doctor, before they go poking into your ear, they're going to tell you that they're coming in for a landing. I always explain to my policyholder what I'm doing in sections just before I get it done. While I'm pulling up some systems, I also like to ask, does everyone in the household have an active and valid driver's license without any restrictions, without any suspensions? How many vehicles, how many drivers do you have access to everyone else's driver's license? If you would like to collect your current policy pages, your documents, we can do some comparisons together. When it's time to discuss those, I'll break them down for you. Please don't be shy. I'm going to ask, who's your current insurance carrier? How long have you been with them? And how much are you paying? Some policyholders are shy to share how much they're paying. So I like to say something like, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, ballpark's okay. About how much is XYZ company charging you on your vehicles? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't looked in a while. That's not true. Of course they know. Otherwise, they wouldn't be calling. If that is the answer and they don't give me the information, that's okay. No need to get huffy. I just let them know. If you do happen to remember as we go along, let me know. It helps me navigate, and it's a big time saver to see if we can help you today. So it puts it back on the policyholder. I may also let them know I don't get to control premiums. Those are state regulated. I do get to control the discounts. So I'll keep my eyes out for you. I like to compare the bottom line is something I like to say. Present our options so that I know how I can help you today. So these are some key words, and of course, those are also available. Make sure you get those. I'll do my best for you, right? I want to let them know that I'm on their side. I will be fast, friendly, and efficient, and I'm going to do my best as I go along. I'll automatically include any qualifying discounts or programs you may be eligible for. So I like to communicate that I am going to keep my eyes out. Is anybody in the military? Do we have any good students in the household? If I am running an auto quote, I'll say something like, let's talk about your car. Can I grab the year, make, and model? How long have you owned the vehicle? What mileage do we have on it? Do we have financing? Any alarm systems? Oh, it looks like you're an eligible candidate for possibly the mobile app. Almost every carrier now has that mobile app, and that discount is substantial. I let them know that discount is traditionally, you get at least a 1%. If you are knocking down garbage cans and, spinning around corners, your discount is not going to be as high as everyone else, and it can go up to 20, 30%, depending on the company. I like to review our household drivers. Now, if you get somebody calling in, they're the only driver in the household, but they own 5 cars, something's fishy there. Unless all those cars are classic vehicles and whatnot, you are going to want to dig in. I'll spend a few minutes collecting the info. Of course, I want those driver's license numbers. And then I am going to ask, Mr. Mrs. Customer, it'll run passively in the background anyway, but do you rent or own? If you're a master wizard online, you can hit the county assessor's office and find that information very quickly. Do we rent or own? If they own, it's going to be in their name. And then I do like to, ask about life insurance. I plug this in wherever it feels natural. If it doesn't feel natural, I'll make a little side note and I can return later. Right? I pivot to cross-sell options. I am going to be taking notes as I go along. I always make sure those notes are saved into the profile. Do we have a cross-sell opportunity? A puppy, baby, boat, classic car? I'm going to discuss driving history. And I'll say something like, we want to represent you as accurately as possible. The motor vehicle will find anything after the quote or during the quote, and it may recalculate our premium. So it's a huge time saver if they're upfront, but not everyone is. So driver's license certainly helps. So how I would ask for their driving history. Do we have any accidents, tickets, major violations, or license suspensions? I know it's a mouthful. Accidents, tickets, major violations, or license suspensions. Depending on what company you're with, you're going to ask 3, 5, 6, 10 years. So it depends on the company. Are you the only registered owner? Anyone who has an insurable interest, I'm going to want to make sure that they are at least on that policy as an insurable interest. If it's the spouse, they're a driver in the household, they need to be listed. Have you ever driven uninsured? I don't say within the last year, within the last 3 years. Have we driven uninsured? And they're going to know the yes or no to that. If you ask for a time frame, that can be fudged. So it's just easier and, takes less time to ask. And then I say, we make it our priority to help you have the right amount of coverage to protect your family. So when I'm reviewing coverages with a new client, policyholder, I always make sure to break that down. I start with liability. And of course, this is on the auto side. Liability is going to be something like 100, 300, 100. And those sections actually include 100 is going to be the medical care. That's going to be, I think, the driver of the car. 300 is going to be for their car load. Let's say friends or children are in the car. If they have medical, that's for the car load for the occurrence. And then 100 for property damage. That's going to fix the other guy's car, right? So you bumped into him, liability. You are liable. When I'm explaining uninsured, underinsured to my policyholders, I let them know uninsured means the other driver did not do what they were supposed to do by having proper insurance coverage. Underinsured means maybe they were at state minimums. 2550 is an example here in Arizona. 2550, 15 is the state minimum. And of course, the average medical bill here in 2024 due to an auto accident is 30,000. So just not quite enough. But I like to explain what they mean, uninsured, underinsured, or for your medical as the policyholder. Medical payments are going to be a little bit different. Medical payments are for the passengers in your car, policyholder, in the case you caused the accident, because they can't hold the other person accountable for their medical. They'll hold you accountable. So medical payments are for the passengers in your car. Next, I like to talk about our full coverage and what full coverage actually means. So, when I think of full coverage, I think of them like brothers. Comprehensive's the good kid, collision's the bad kid. Comprehensive means you were minding your own business and there was a deer, tree, hailstorm, your car was stolen. That's the good kid. He didn't cause anything to happen. That was just life, nature. He was just minding his own business. Collision, on the other hand, was the bad kid. He wasn't minding anyone's business. He was running into trees, telephone booths, if they still exist, hot fire hydrants, right? So I think of collision as, you caused the accident, you caused the damage. But either way, comprehensive or collision, the car was damaged and it needs to be repaired. So traditionally, you're going to have a deductible 500, 1,000, just depends on what the policyholder prefers. And just like a teeter-totter, the higher your deductible, the lower your monthly premium. All right. You're also going to have coverages. I like to call these guys the add-ons. You're going to have coverages like roadside, car rental, and glass. Roadside just means you ran out of gas, got a flat tire, need a tow, you need some help. Side of the road. Rental means maybe that tree fell on your car or you ran into the tree. But now your car's in the shop. It needs fixing and you need another car to drive to and from work, get the groceries, kids from school. So that's what car rental is for. And usually they have a daily allowance and then a maximum. For example, $40 a day up to $1,200 as an example. Okay. Glass is traditionally, if it's offered in your state and by your company, glass you can choose the deductible on. If their collision, their comprehensive, their deductibles are set at 500, glass can be matched to that. That's a comp claim. However, you can also set your glass to a $0 deductible. Here in Arizona, we are in the land of flying rocks. They do have a mind of their own. And we're at the top of the list for the most glass claims. So yay, Arizona. However, too many glass claims can cause a company to decide not to offer it anymore. So we also have to be really careful as agents on how we communicate that to our policyholder.